Good afternoon, future students of Westminster. Welcome to the Global Education Study Abroad Virtual Expo. We are incredibly excited to have you, the student here, but also our friend and colleague, Martin. A little bit of background about who Global Education is. So we are the in-country representatives for over 400 institutions, but more specifically today, for the University of Westminster. If students want to apply to study there, but aren't quite sure what it is they want to study, is it business, accounting, what are you passionate about? You can come to us and we will help you find the correct course. We'll help you do the application. We'll help you secure and seek accommodation. And we'll also do the visa if needed. We are really a one-stop shop, and we like to call ourselves the anxiety protectors, because we do understand and appreciate at this time of looking at international education, what university can be quite stressful. So we really are here just to minimize all anxieties. Well, Martin, welcome. Global Education is very excited to have you here today, and I will leave you to it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, lovely to see you again. Yeah, looking forward to hearing from your students today. Many queries, so I'll get straight into it. Let me just share my screen. Let me know. That's okay. There you go. Okay. So you should be able to see my screen now.
It's loading. There we go. I can see the London Eye, which I have been on, by the way. Yes.
Good. Was the weather nice? Did you have a good view of the city?
It was beautiful. I still have the photo. It was, and I the first time I ever went to London, I did the Madame Tussauds, the original Big Ben, the London Eye. So it is a spectacular place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what today I wanted to talk with everyone about. So as you can see, the title of the presentation or the session I'm going to be doing is Start Your London Adventure at the University of Westminster. My name is Martin Davis. I'm in the international team here at the University of Westminster in London. And being a student at the University of Westminster means that you have access to everything that London offers you. And I wanted to share that with you all, because I know there's a lot of you out there who are obviously interested in studying abroad, and maybe probably for a lot of you, London is something you're thinking about. And I just want to reiterate the benefits, personally, professionally, culturally, etc., that you would get by being here in London and by having access to the whole of the city through being a student at the University of Westminster. So let's get started. So to begin with, I'm biased because I'm from London. Born and raised here, so I do think it's the best city. But it is. I've lived abroad and in Latin America and Australia, and London is a unique city. I think because of the cultural diversity and everything that it offers. That obviously the connections that the companies and the organisations in London have with everyone around the world, which is amazing. You can see London has been ranked best student city in the world on numerous occasions, pretty much in the last 3 years, if we take out the pandemic, when there weren't those rankings there. But 2022 ranked best student city in the world, and this is mainly because of the quality of life, inclusivity, the opportunities professionally, socially as well, the safety in the city, the connections that you make, and also things like transport connections, if I put it like that, to move around wherever you want to go in the world, plus a strong academic standards and prestige that being a student and graduating with a degree from the UK would bring you. So moving on to culture in London, I mean, you can see here the beautiful Tower Bridge, which is very famous around the world, rightly so, beautiful architecture, and living in London, studying at Westminster, you have all these amazing and the major landmarks and cultural and touristic sites within walking distance, within a quick train journey, quick tube, bus journey, or if you want to cycle. You've got Tower Bridge, which you can see here on a sunny day in London, Big Ben, the London Eye, Buckingham Palace, St Paul's Cathedral, the Tower of London, Westminster Abbey. The list goes on, and this is all right here for you. So, you know, if you come and be a student with us, you in the free time you have in between lectures, etc., you'd enjoy it so much. If maybe you visited here before, you got a taste of it. That's where a lot of people want to come back and live here and study here. But you get to enjoy all of this studying with us at Westminster. And furthermore, you know, London is home to world famous galleries, more than 800, and museums, 200 or more than 200. And something quite unique about London compared to other major cities in Europe is that the vast majority of our major and world famous museums and galleries are free for the public. And if there are exhibitions, which there are on a regular basis, new exhibitions, exciting exhibitions of all kinds, there's always a student discount, which is another huge benefit of being a student and living in London. Beyond that, of course, we have world famous theatre districts, again, within a walking distance of where our students study. There are festivals going on all throughout the year, art festivals, food festivals, film festivals, music festivals, of course, too, in the various venues across the city, and you'd have the chance to really enjoy everything that we offer. Also, of course, shops. I mean, world famous shopping districts. Oxford Street, which is the main shopping district of London, is again a 5-minute to 10-minute walking distance from where our students study in class. So it's right there for you. And then lots of markets where mainly during the weekends, but sometimes during the week for some of them, you know, you could buy artisan products, walk around the streets, enjoy the culture and the buzz of the city. Plus, it's a very fashion conscious city. So every kind of fashion you'll see walking down the street, you know, punks, well-dressed people in Savile Row suits, everything there. So it's a real, it's very aesthetically pleasing to walk down the street, and on your days off, I'm sure you'd enjoy just spending time discovering the different parts of the city. London's a very social place. You know, restaurants, cafes, all in every part of the city, sitting outside, sitting inside. You know, I guess the kind of idea of let's say continental Europe as such, when you're sitting outside, watching the world go by, people watching things like that, and London's got that. When the weather's nice, especially, we all like to sit outside, of course. We've got over 6,000 restaurants, over 4,500 pubs and bars, 66 square miles of green space, made up of parks, playing fields, and gardens. And a lot of people don't realize this, but London is a very, very green city. Almost half the city is made up of green spaces. So whilst you'd enjoy, you know, the hustle and bustle of one of the world's major cities and urban centres, you'd also have lots of time to get fresh air and relax in one of our green spaces. We have 2 royal parks, all within, you know, very close distance to the university. Regent's Park, for example, is 10-minute walk away from one of our campuses. So again, our students on their breaks between lectures, they really enjoy the social spaces like we all do in the city. And also, over 300 languages are spoken in the city, again, showcasing the diversity of the city. So, and this is something that we always try to let prospective students know, that coming to study the University of Westminster here in London, UK, you'll be studying the British university. So it's very practical teaching and in the British system. But your experience is an international experience. You are studying with people from all across the world. Your lecturers are from all across the world as well. And London is there's so much to do socially, whatever your interests are. And then going on to affordable London, of course, I know this is a question that a lot of international students have about, you know, the cost of living and things like that. But there are many discounts that you could take advantage of as a student in the UK and studying at Westminster. Here are some examples. I mean, using Transport for London transport network, so the underground, buses, trains, you would have 30% off travel with the student Oyster card. Plus, you have 33% off rail travel. So if you wanted to visit other parts of the UK by train, which, you know, we've got excellent train networks here, so you could do that your time off. There's also a 33% discount on young person's rail card, which you would be eligible for. And then also there are many other student discounts for things such as high street shopping, restaurants, theatre, cinema, and visiting things like London attractions as well. If you wanted to be eligible for that, which I'm sure you would just need to show your student ID card for some places. Others, you'd apply for a special discount card, which you'd show at these shops, but you would all be eligible for that being a student with us. And then moving on to professional London. And London can be an excellent springboard for your future career. I mean, it is, you know, one of the financial and creative capitals of the world, home to 75% of Fortune 500 companies and thousands of other businesses across every professional sector. And London, if you're comparing London to other, let's say, European capitals or cities, we have 3 times more European multinational headquarters than any other city in Europe. More jobs are available in London than any other part of the UK. That's why here in the UK, so many people end up moving to the capital, and people from around the world for the same reasons of the job opportunities that are just here. We have, for example, where we're based, the university, we have more than 1 million businesses operating within 20 miles of the university across the city. And also, just to say, I'll be coming on to this further in today's session, but Westminster was named 6th in the UK for the list of work experience universities. That was back in 2013, but it's an ongoing process where, and you will, you know, whether you're studying a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, you will have access to all these, you know, thousands, if not millions, of companies across the city, and we will be we will hold your hand throughout the process and give you the best chance and share the best networks and opportunities for you to apply for whether part-time work or internships or work placements related to your, you know, your career aspirations and the sector that you're focused on. So that's a bit about, you know, London itself. I really hope some of you can join us here. It is full of opportunity in every kind of way, professionally, culturally, socially, etc. And then, I mean, the University of Westminster. This is who I am representing, and we have been teaching since 1838, and we were set up focusing on practical degrees, getting our students ready for the labour market and working in their industry. We have about 19,000 students that study with us. Like I said, very internationally diverse. We have about 169 different nationalities. So we as an institution do reflect London as a very, very international place and study experience. I mentioned earlier the thousands of companies that are operating in London, and we as an institution, we have 183 official industry partners where we regularly send our students on work placements, internships, have guest lecturers come and speak, and also we have a variety of other events where we collaborate with them. We also work with about 5,000 other companies in the city in terms of work experience for our students. And we do have a royal link. Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II is the patron of the university. So obviously studying in the UK in a British university brings a lot of prestige and has a strong reputation across the world. It is a very, very global experience studying with us. About 4,000 of our 19,000 students are actually international students. And I mean, we run a number of events. Let's say we have a number of opportunities for all of our students to do UK-based, but also international field trips on their programs, where you would visit industries, you'd visit companies and offices related to your program to learn firsthand about professional practices in your industry, in the places of work. So hopefully you'll get obviously a British experience, but also an international experience in terms of what's needed and how the workplace in your industry is. And there's also the chance to learn another language as part of your studies. If you're studying a bachelor's degree, this can be part of your bachelor's degree. It's kind of like an optional module or class, and it is all accredited towards your final grades and your transcripts, for example. And this includes Arabic, Chinese, French, Spanish, German, Italian, Russian, or Japanese. And you can study this from complete beginner if you've just always thought, you know what, I want to learn Arabic, or I want to learn Spanish to increase my my resume, my CV, etc. Or if you studied this previously and you don't want to lose your study skills, you can start studying that from intermediate level all the way to advanced. So that's another great way for you to increase your global attractiveness to international employers. If you're studying a master's degree, you can also study another language, but this would be like an additional. It wouldn't be part of your graded or your graded transcripts on your master's course. Living in London, one of the great parts is good infrastructure in terms of transport, great infrastructure. Because we're so centrally located, we have tube stations, train stations, bus stations, all within like 5 to 10 minute walking distance of where you'd be studying. So wherever you're living, wherever you're socializing, wherever you're working, it's very, very easy to move around being a student at Westminster. Plus, we're close to international airports, so coming in and out of, let's say, South Africa and Zimbabwe, and then moving around to other parts of the world, it's very easy because you can use I think we've got about 5 international airports in and around the city. So yeah, very easy to do that. And we have 4 campuses, so like 4 main teaching sites where, depending on what you're studying, you will mainly be based there, which I'll be coming on to shortly, just to give you an idea of where you might be taking up classes and your seminar works, and mainly spending your time as a student with us. So this is a map of central London. So we have 4 campuses of 4 main teaching sites, 3 in central London, the Malavon, Cavendish and Regent Street campus, which, as you can see here, are surrounded by London's main attractions, from Madame Tussauds, which is right outside the university in Marylebone, to the British Museum, Buckingham Palace, Trafalgar Square, Harrods, House of Parliament, the list goes on, Regent's Park, Hyde Park. So you'd be in a great location here. If you're studying a degree related to media arts and design, for example, you'd be mainly based at the Harrow Campus in northwest London, but this is 20 minutes into the city centre. There's a tube station right outside the front of the campus. So wherever you're, again, if you're coming in and out of the city centre or moving around, it's very easy to do that at the West London campus as well. And then this might look very small on your screens, but this is basically just a central London tube map. And you can see here again how well connected we are. So wherever you need to go, whilst you're a student with us, you'll have, it'll be so easy to move around because you've got tube stations. If not one, you've got, at least one tube station right outside the campus. And the central London campus is surrounded by various tube stations and bus stations. So moving around is so easy. I mentioned earlier about London as a location to really, springboard your career. And being a student at Westminster gives you that added insight and networking and connections opportunities. As soon as you join the university, as soon as you enroll, you will have full and free access to our Career Development Centre. And this is where we'll adjust your CV for the UK job market, whether that's applying for a part-time role or internships. And we'll also, if you get interviews, obviously, hopefully you will, then we'll prepare you for those interviews. And our students have taken up, work experience and internships and gone on to work for huge multinational companies from Google, IBM, Microsoft, Disney, GlaxoSmithKline, Bank of England, etc. So our students do take up fantastic work placements to really propel their careers. And beyond the Career Development Centre offerings, we also provide a variety of other opportunities through the Career Development Centre. This photo here is an image of one of our graduate careers fairs, and we run about 2 or 3 graduate careers fairs in each in most of the areas that are taught at the university across the academic year. And this is where we invite major recruiters and managers and experts in specific industries, sectors, to come and give talks, workshops, and speak with our current students to provide them first-hand advice and let them know of the opportunities that there are to move into a working role in those companies and industries. So again, it will give you a great chance to network and make connections, so that once you, during your studies, but hopefully maybe once you graduate, you're in a very strong position. And if you do want to apply for those opportunities, you know what really you need to do based on the expert advice. And then we also have excellent mentoring scheme, again, where you'll be allocated a mentor in the sector where you're studying or you want to work in the future. And this person is, the mentors are external to the university, so they don't work for the university, but they are, very successful people in their industry who we've set up these links with, and you would have that first-hand, gateway into your career through this advice and help with from the experts in your area. So if you're applying for an internship, or you want to know what do I need to really get this job in London that I really want to do, or get this job in South Africa or Dubai, your mentor will give you first-hand advice of what you should be doing or adding to your CV to really make yourself stand out. And of course, during your studies, you'll have 20 hours permission in terms of working hours during semester, during term time, as a UK international, as an international student here in London, in the UK. In the summer months, when there's not teaching, where it's like the breaks and the vacations, there's no limit to your working hours. But during term time, you have 20 hours per week that you can work alongside your full-time studies. And your studies are full-time, but you normally have about 3 to 4 days of lectures, seminars, and group work actually at the university, like contact time. And then once you graduate, you'll have the option and the right to stay in the UK to work full-time for up to 2 years on a 2-year post-study work visa. So hopefully in that time, you would have got some great experience. And then if you did want to stay in the UK after that, you try and find work with a company that offers like sponsorship to stay and work with them here in the UK, or you would have built up great experience in a company in London to then start work wherever else you were looking to do around the world. I'm going to run through now the different campuses. So I mentioned this earlier, we have 4 different sites, and depending on which course you're studying, you will mainly be based at one of these sites. However, you do have full access to all the facilities that each campus offers. So, and each campus has about, let's say about 3 to 4 floors of libraries, state-of-the-art campuses, excellent facilities. We spent more than £50 million in the last 5 years renovating the social spaces across the university. So each university has like cafes, restaurants on site as well. Others have like a cinema with a bar and gyms as well as other, let's say, professional and academic facilities, which I'll touch on shortly. So the first campus I'm going to talk about now is the Cavendish campus in central London. And this is where our science and computing programs are mainly based. So biological and biomedical sciences, computer science and engineering, data science and informatics, which is a huge growth area, understandably, because there's huge demand for people with skills to work in that area, but also nutrition and public health, like global public health nutrition, as well as psychology. Then we move on to the Regent Street campus. Now, this is my personal favorite campus, a beautiful London building set in the city centre. One side of the Regent Street campus are the BBC studios, and the other side is the main shopping district of London on Oxford Street. So amazing location. And this is where all of our like humanities and social science programs, from politics and international relations, languages, history, criminology, sociology, and law, and English and creative writing as well. These are all taught on the Regent Street campus. And we have a gym on the Regent Street campus, as well as like I said earlier, we've got 2 cafes, and we also have a cinema on site. One of the the most important cinemas in the UK, the Regent Street Cinema, where we show various like world film festivals to new releases, and you can enjoy that after your class. You know, there's a bar there as well if you want to get a drink or relax, get some food. But it's such a beautiful site and an amazing location in the city. Then we move on to the Malavon Campus, which is where our Westminster Business School and Architecture, Interiors and Urban Design programs are based, as well as tourism and like transport and logistics. And this is opposite Madame Tussauds, a 10-minute walk from Regent's Park. And it's a very modern campus. And you can see here an image of the Bloomberg Financial Suite, which is a very unique facility that we have at the university in our central London campus. So if you were to study a program related to finance or banking or economics, you would most likely spend a lot of your time in the Bloomberg Financial Suite using and utilizing this platform that is synced up exactly to the City of London. And it's real time. So you'll be graduating and learning all the skills and tools that the financial sector workers, the brokers, the bankers that they use in those sectors in an international setting. And the lectures are all, they've been working in those industries for years in London, Tokyo, New York. So you really be learning from experts and utilizing this amazing facility that we have at the Malavon Campus. And we do have accommodation on the Malavon Campus too. And I'll be coming on to the accommodation options that we offer. Then we have the Harrow Campus, which is in the West London campus, 20 minutes on the tube into central London. And this is where all of our creative art and design programs are taught, from art design, fashion design, film production, music production, journalism and communications as well. And this is the largest site in terms of geographical size. And this is because we host, or it's home to most of our studios. So we need the big space there. The architecture programs are taught in the central London Malavon campus, though, where we have about 3 to 4 floors of architecture studios. But yeah, if you're a creative person, art and design, you've been based at the Harrow campus. It's like one big hub of creative people and students studying these programs. There's a lot of working together across different programs on projects. So if you're a film student, you'd be working with people in the art programs, also the music programs, to work together on collaborative projects. And we also have accommodation at the Harrow campus if you wanted to take that up. Obviously, as soon as you come to London and hopefully you start your studies at Westminster, we will provide lots and lots of free support to you, from student advice support for visa queries, also academic learning, development and support, counselling services, disability learning support, faith and spirituality. We have faith and prayer rooms on each campus. And then on top of that, you can apply to have like a buddy or friend of arriving new students, as we call it. And also you will be allocated a personal tutor. So you'll have your academic lecturers and teachers, but you'll also have a specific member of the teaching staff who's allocated as your personal tutor. So again, if you have any issues or queries, there'll always be someone at the university that you can speak to and have someone listen to you and try and help you out. The experience of going to university, as I'm sure you know, it's a lot more than just the classroom. You'll have seminars, large lectures, you'll have international and national field trips, which are great and make your studies a lot more interesting. But also, it's about connecting and making friends with other people in other courses that share your personal interests. And we have hundreds of clubs and societies. So whether that's playing football or rugby or basketball for the university teams in the national competitions, there might be the Salsa Dancers Society, or you might want to join the Smoke Media groups, which are our magazine, radio and TV stations. And also you can, like I said earlier, you can learn another language, whatever course you're studying. And if you wanted to do volunteering work, you can do that throughout your studies, and we'll find those opportunities for you. And you can also, there's quite a few student exchange programs that you can do. So there's lots and lots of things that you can do alongside your academic programs. And we of course, we encourage you to do that, because it will really enrich in your experience here in London, just in general in life and as a student. Sports on campus, I said earlier, the Regent Street campus, we've got a state-of-the-art gym where we have, obviously all the cardio machines, weights. We also do lots of group programs at the university, boxercise, kung fu, judo, Pilates, yoga, you name it, and you can do that at the university. And we also have our Chiswick Sports Ground where our sports teams play in the national competitions. And the Harrow Campus also has a gym and sports halls that you would use at the university. Entry requirements. I won't dwell too much on this. I know everyone at obviously Global Education, they will be advising you and give you this information. But yeah, I mean, if you're applying and you're South African, National Senior Certificate with grades 666, 555 is a standard, is what we need. Or it could be a senior certificate or an international foundation program. And if you're coming on to do a master's with us, most programs will ask for a minimum of 60% from a recognized South African university. And some courses will ask for slightly higher grades of 70 to 74%. So just obviously inquire with the guys at Global Education and we'll verify that and confirm. Zimbabwean students, general certificate of education, advanced level, or a national diploma or higher national diploma or foundation for our bachelors. And again, the same sort of, most programs will ask for equivalent to a lower second class, so 60 to 64%. Some will ask for 65% or above. So just check that on our website and in our brochures, etc. And in terms of English language requirements, for those coming for a bachelor's, you'd need a score of 6 overall, or with 6 in writing or 5.5 in all other components. However, if you have a IGCSE A levels or South African NQF level 3 qualification, you wouldn't need to take that further IELTS. So that would be proof of academic English. I think for Zimbabwean students, we might need you to do an additional IELTS. But whether you have a South African or a Zimbabwean bachelor's degree, that would be proof of sufficient English to go on and do a master's at the required academic level. Any questions about that, obviously speak with the councillors of Global Education or myself, and we'll clarify on that. But there are a few other online tests that you can do if you needed to do that, but probably the majority of you, I wouldn't think, would need to. At Westminster, tuition fee payments are split into instalments to try and ease the payments of the courses. I've just got a spider just in front of me. I'm just going to move it. Right. Sorry about that. So our bachelor's programs are £14,400 per academic year. They are all 3-year programs, but with the option to do a 1-year work placement as well. And our postgraduate degrees or master's degrees do vary in price from £13,000 up to £19,000. I think we actually have one that's £22,000, but the price for master's courses vary. So just check on the website and in our brochures for your specific course. But irrespective of the program you study, the tuition fee payment is always split into these 3 installments. So let's say you were starting in September. You would need to have paid 50% of the course fees when you enroll, and your your £4,000 international deposit contributes towards that. So when you go to eventually try and get your sponsorship letter or your CAS from the university, which you would use to then apply for your UK student visa, your deposit payment is a key part of that process. And then hopefully once you have that, and when you enroll, that gets used towards your first 50% tuition fee payment that needs to be made. Then the second installment will come at the end of semester 1, teaching semester 1 in December, and then the last installment for the year would be for at the start of semester 2 in January or February. So yeah, a master's course with us is 1 year full-time program, and bachelor's is 3 years. Scholarship-wise, we do have a number of international part fee scholarships available for students doing a master's program with us. £2,000 tuition fee deduction, and this is mainly based on having high academic grades from your bachelor's degree. So will that be either equivalent to an upper second class honours? That might be 70% or above for South African students. I think for Zimbabwean it might be 65% or above. But the deadline, if you are looking to do that, if you're looking to study this September and apply for that scholarship, Firstly, you need to have made your course application and have received an offer. And then once you've received that offer, then you can make your separate scholarship application. And the deadline to do that is the 13th of June for this September. But full information is available on our website. But again, any questions, just let us know about that. As I said earlier, we do have accommodation managed by the university, owned by the university. We have 2 accommodation sites on campus. These are all offer, you have your own room. Some of them have ensuite bathrooms, own desk, beds, wardrobes and things like that. And then you have like a shared bathroom and social spaces as well. The fees for those do vary from about £600 a month up to £950 a month, depending on location and size and whether they have things like ensuite bathrooms. But these are, managed by the university. You have 24 hours, 7 days a week security. The monthly rent does include all bills, services, Wi-Fi, water, gas, electricity, etc. And these are huge social hubs as well. So if you are staying at our accommodation, we organise lots of social events from nights out, cooking classes and other things at the accommodation sites. If you wanted to find private accommodation, maybe you wanted to share a flat or an apartment with friends or family here in London, then we will help you find appropriate accommodation. We have links and contracts with hundreds of different landlords across the city. So you can be sure that you'd be staying in a trusted accommodation in the city with us. So just speak with us if that is something that interests you, and we can look to see if we can help you out there. And here you can see some more images of our accommodation sites. Very high quality, clean, with loads of social spaces and space for cooking and hanging out basically with your friends who you live with. As with all universities that you're interested in, if you can attend an open day, this will be really beneficial for you. We have some coming up in June, where you'll get the chance to hear directly from the course leaders and academics on the programs that you're planning to study on. You can also hear from current students as well as the careers teams and also like the student union and the admissions team as well. So if you can attend, please do try and register for these free online open days. If you can't attend at those times, then if you register, you'll get sent a link to watch the recording of those sessions as well. So I strongly recommend signing up for these if you can. The next ones, if you're interested in studying a master's with us, the next online open day is on the 8th of June. And the next one for students interested in a bachelor's is the 18th of June. You can find this if you go on westminster.ac.uk, you will find the link to apply for this free online open day. So just to finalize, today I wanted to talk to you about starting your adventure, your London adventure at the University of Westminster. And London itself has so much to offer you. I really hope you can join me and the university and other students from around the world here in London. I'm sure you'd have a fantastic time. And studying at the University of Westminster allows you to make the most and enjoy everything that London has to offer and more through your connections at the university and the professional world that you're looking to move into. So why choose the University of Westminster? Firstly, you'll get a chance to study at our vibrant, state-of-the-art campuses and facilities, where as I said earlier, we've invested over £50 million alone in improving social spaces, or adding more social spaces for our students in the form of, cafes, restaurants, and other areas. Plus, we have fantastic academic and professional facilities like the Bloomberg Financial Suite and the studios across all the universities. And you would have full access to all of these brilliant facilities. We, as an institution, have 183 industry links where we have arrangements to send our students out on work placements and internships. And you would have the chance to make the most of this and utilize all of this. Plus, London itself, like I said, we're home to millions of different companies and organizations. So there's a wealth of opportunities for you just being in London alone. But being at Westminster, you get that added connection and network opportunities. Our programs are all fueled by academic teaching excellence. Additionally, what I'd say is that the teachers and lecturers and academics are very approachable, very friendly. You would be expected to contribute in classes. We want to hear what you think. We want to improve your critical thinking. So it is a two-way conversation. in your lectures and group work and seminar work and everything about university. It's about developing yourself mentally and professionally and academically, of course, throughout your studies. And the career employability services and the support opportunities, like I said earlier, as soon as you come to London and you enroll at the university, you'll have full and free access to our career development centre, where we'll advertise part-time work, internships, summer placements and things like that. And we'll get your CV ready for the UK job market and the international job market as well. So there's always going to be loads of opportunities for you to develop professionally. And then finally, I mean, the title of today's session, Start Your London Adventure at the University of Westminster. And London is our campus at the University of Westminster. We are based right in the heart of the city, and it's a very exciting experience. Life is very busy, but in a good way. Every day of the week, you've got something going on and something you can do, whatever your interest, passion, or whatever it is you want to explore more. You can do that in London and studying at Westminster. The application process, they're all open for the upcoming intakes. Global Education will of course go through this with you all. If you have an application or you're interested in, they're all online applications, different ways for the different levels. For undergraduate, it's through ucas.com. For master's programs, we have a direct online application portal, which you'll find on the website on each course page. But yes, that summarizes my session today. So thank you so much for joining us and listening, and hopefully some of it was interesting and it fueled your interest in London and the University of Westminster. And yeah, if you have any questions, please do ask us, and it'd be great to see if we can help.
I love those red buses. They really are iconic, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
You can't really go wrong with the buses.
No.
I would like to thank everybody for attending today. Having been to London myself a good couple of times, it really is phenomenal. If you are creative, I feel like it's such an open playing field. Around every corner there's a super interesting restaurant, art museum. It's just such a creative space. It's a fantastic place to study. So we have a question from Anonymous. Anonymous would like to know, do you offer medicine?
Okay, yeah, good question. Unfortunately, we don't offer medicine as such. We have an alternative program, which is like a clinical pre-feeder, medical sciences, which is a 3-year BSc honours program for students that, if they do want to go down that route, and maybe they haven't quite got the grades to go in and do a medical degree, or the fees for the medical degrees are a bit too high for them, then this is a good option. But it is a pre-clinical feeder, so you do 3 years of study here with us in London, at the University of Westminster, and then you would go into, I think is it year 2 or 3 of Doctor of Medicine and Surgery at one of our partner institutions, actually in the University of Malta. So, like I said, it's not a direct route, but it is another alternative route for any students. Yeah.
I have another question from Anonymous. What are the 3 most up-and-coming, underrated subjects to study?
Ooh, good question. Well, I definitely, in terms of underrated, a difficult one to answer, but I would say that the up-and-coming areas where we've seen a huge growth, which is understandable, the way the world has been in recent years. Firstly, data science and analytics has seen a huge growth of interest across the world, and we have a variety of programs in that area, from data science and analytics to big data technologies, MSc. These are master's programs, but there are some undergraduate programs in that area too, for bachelor's, and also like fintech with business analytics. So I would say those are that's one area, data science and analytics. The other one would be global public health. We have a global public health nutrition MSc program, which has seen, again, huge interest, where you look at governance and policy around public health, nutrition, dealing with disease and things like that. And those are growth areas, definitely. Also, biomedical sciences and biological sciences with the pandemic. Of course, people want to.
Yeah, it's very relevant. Hey?
Yeah, very relevant. So yeah, very, very understandably, there's been a growth in those particular areas. In terms of underrated, that's a tough one. I'd have to let me think. I'll have to come back on that one.
Don't worry about it. Don't stress.
Okay.
On behalf of Global Education, we'd like to thank our viewers and the University of Westminster for joining us today for a fantastic consult about studying in London and what it's like and what you can expect. I think things to consider when you are looking at London is really to capitalize on the discounts that are available. Especially when it comes to your transportation. I really think that that's something underrated.
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
that's something underrated. If you guys have any questions about studying at the university or in London, or if you have any concerns, please reach out to us at Global Education. I recommend that you take a screenshot of the screen in front of you. And we will put you in contact with Martin if you would like to speak to him directly. Otherwise, we will assist with your application. Martin, we thank you for your time. This was fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me. Always a pleasure. And yeah, really enjoyed speaking. And hopefully, yeah, we'll be in touch, I'm sure, with a few students or many students, and we'll see if we can help. I hope everyone's well. But yeah, take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.